I studied journalism in North Dakota State University, a beautiful campus inaugurated in 1898 as a land grant from the state of North Dakota, known for its programs in agriculture, science, and engineering, housing about 23,000 students a year. SUTV News was NDSU's closed-circuit channel utilized by the journalism students, having a studio camera in their possession worth $50,000, a classroom of fully loaded Mac computers with video editing software, and a complete production studio worth $150,000, all funded by NDSU's Student Fees Fund. Repower America frequently asks people to talk about their views regarding energy-saving techniques. In one video, I shared my views. My health was very bad at this time. As you can see in the video, my hair is parched. I was at that time suffering from a disease known as celiac disease, a rare condition which causes malabsorption in the body, causing various ailments like anemia, breathlessness, bad nerves, diarrhea, as well as a host of other conditions. I had this for 10 years, which was checked by 9 doctors in 3 different countries. Now, I'll be showing you a short documentary on celiac, which talks more about the condition. Celiac disease and gluten intolerance affects at least 1 in 133 Americans. The disease mostly affects people of European, especially Northern European descent, but recent studies show that it also affects Hispanic, Black, and Asian populations as well. But what exactly does celiac do? Dr. Glenberg has a story.
Well, with the celiac disease, the most common symptoms are gastrointestinal. You get abdominal bloating, gas, diarrhea, also can get weight loss. There's a variety of other non-gastrointestinal symptoms that you can get as well. Things we worry about in particular are nutritional deficiencies, vitamin D, iron deficiency is probably one of the more common deficiencies, folate, calcium. So there's a variety of symptoms that can occur, but the gastrointestinal symptoms are the most common.
As of now, researchers in Stanford are working on a pill for celiac disease. But up until this point, the only cure seems to be to change one's diet.
The biggest things that folks with celiac disease are actually not allowed to eat in any form or fashion is anything made from wheat, barley, or rye. And then here in the United States, it's a questionable thing about oats. Uncontaminated pure oats they can eat, but if oats are, say, processed in an area that also wheat, barley, and rye is processed, then they cannot eat those oats. So it's mainly wheat, barley, and rye.
Here in Fargo, there is an increasing need for celiacs to eat at gluten-free places. Grocery stores offer gluten-free sections, but what about those in search of something on the run? Simply Savories is a bakery that caters to the gluten-intolerant in Fargo.
By this time, we had a total of 9 celiacs in my family. They said, well, you should, start a business and do this. And I happen to be in a position where I could do that, so here we are today.
Dean Riley's daughter, Catherine, has faced a lot of hardship with celiac disease. Type 1 diabetes and celiac disease are known to come from the same gene, so they're closely related with one another. Coming up, Dean Riley talks of how he's dealt with his daughter's battle with this heart-wrenching problem. Stay tuned.
Having some gastrointestinal problems, and she oftentimes felt bloated, and we weren't quite sure what it was. We tested. She's also diabetic, and so we tested for a number of things, and finally by elimination, the doctors came down to the idea that it was celiac disease.
Costs for diagnosing celiac disease are high. According to the AACSA Foundation, medical charges per managed care member per year for those eventually diagnosed with celiac disease were determined to be $8,500 in the year prior to diagnosis and $12,600 in the year following diagnosis and lower thereafter. The National Institute of Health was estimated that digestive diseases in the United States cost over $141 billion. Early diagnosis of celiac disease could reduce this burden.
Rather than spend the amount of money that it would take to actually finally diagnose it, the idea was, why not put her on a gluten-free diet and see if her bloating went away and her problems went away. And they did. And so she's been on a gluten-free diet ever since, and she's obviously celiac.
Paul Mehel, owner of Simply Savories, also has faced difficulty with celiac disease.
Just have to throw up. It was like it hit so fast, I could barely reach over and get the garbage can, just with no warning. And in retrospect, it was after I had eaten like pizza corner pizza, because it's got really high gluten content.
With celiac disease, need to make sure that they know that there is absolutely no cheating, that they can never, ever, ever, ever eat wheat, barley, or rye, or any derivative of those, and that they have to have pure kitchens. They can't share toasters with a weed eater. They can't share certain, for example, if people are baking, the flour dust floats around for a good 24 hours. So it needs to be a pretty pure area that they store their wheat for your gluten-free grains in.
The gluten intolerant don't need to feel as if something is wrong with them. This is actually more common than we realize.
I think that you know, it's not a disease really. It's a natural state that sometimes is induced, but actually it's probably fairly natural, much more natural for humans, not to have a gluten-rich diet, and to have generally a gluten-free diet. And most likely celiac disease, as it's called now, didn't come on to many people until we began to have a diet that was consisted of domesticated wheat, barley, millets, and things like that.
So, if you have celiac disease, remember, it's more common than we realize, and we are just in the awareness stage. As time goes on, there will be medical advances that will help make this condition better. But for now, just stick to a gluten-free diet and you'll feel as good as new.
Fingers trembling, one's stomach constantly giving trouble, fainting at sporting events, frequent dizziness, lack of oxygen in the brain, or having those problems go away only to eat overly priced cardboard-tasting food, having to constantly explain an obscure disease which no one knew about. I was sick of having this condition. I wanted things in my life to improve. It was then that I came across Nithya Sudevi, who later led me to come into the vast energy field of an Indian guru by the name of Paramahamsa Nithyananda, who was able to heal people of lupus, cancer, blindness, as well as a vast array of other sicknesses. I came to his birthplace, Thiruvannamalai, to a 4-day program of his, asking to be cured of celiac disease, as well as wishing to journey back to Toronto, Canada, asking for a job hosting a music channel there by the name of BPM TV. My father had a vision of Swamiji one day, followed by a call by my uncle saying some of our land had sold. Interestingly, there was a position open with BPM TV as a host, the exact position I'd asked for. Within days, I boarded a flight to Toronto, giving a 90-second demo reel of myself, which went into competition. Here, we'll take a look at that exact demo reel. A sensation from the France nation, DJ Vincent Fawad hails in from Seath, France, giving us the ultimate in trance at NDSU's annual Blacklight. Take it away, Vincent!
I'm the body president of RHA, the Resident Hall Association, and pretty much an organization whose intends to get some events going on campus, providing a safe alternative to partying.
Hello, BPM TV. My name is Sonia Dhaliwal. Now the question is, why should you hire me? First of all, you need to hire someone who's interested in dance music. I have a passion for dance and electronica, whether it's Tiesto, Armin van Buuren, Paul van Dyk, Paul Oakenfold, or Andy Moore. I'm a big fan of their work. I've been noted for public speaking ever since the 5th grade. I've been in drama for 4 years, and I have a degree in broadcasting. I can't sit still. I love people, and they find me funny. I'm easy to talk to and for people to open up to, which is ideal for being a presenter. Oh, and by the way, I can dance. 6 months later, I was cured. I was ecstatic. There were moments I doubted that could happen. I'd seen many things in my life go wrong up till then. It was hard for me to see that happen. But having a background with family gurus, I did have faith. The job at BPM TV didn't work out because I doubted it could happen to me. I thought the competition did a better job. I was bustled from one house to another in those 4 months, and then once money ran out, and I had to come home. I was still suffering with more health problems. The left side of my head, I could feel the nerves were really bad. The side of my face felt numb. I felt a heaviness on the left side of my chest, as if something was constantly piercing my chest. One side of my nasal passages was completely blocked, and there was intense weakness prevalent in my body. I would collapse doing morning yoga at the time, being taught by a military sergeant. He had little patience for that. I was really sick of my health giving me some problem or another. One day while I was watching my guru's morning satsang, he talked of a program they hosted, Inner Awakening. It mentioned a 1,300% increase in energy, which was found nowhere else. That was it. I made my mind up to go. I had to go. I just had to. It was an expensive program, $6,000, to which I had no job at the time, terrible health, and a meager $500. I heard about something called a prayer request, where Swamiji would bless what's called an intention form, so that he could clear you of all the obstacles that prevent you from attending the program. I filled out this form, and within 4 days, I miraculously had all the money needed to attend this program. This program was like nothing I'd ever seen before. You were constantly working with, and in the presence of divinity, a force where everything came effortlessly to, miracles were shown to you, and life being painstakingly explained to you. The 21 days here made sense to me in a way that life had not. It was a positive energy field that was out to help others, and where anything was possible, outside of our limited sense of reality. Our reality is so limited. People only care about status, money, power, little of God, which can only lead to corruption. It is here that I learned that not only is it important to think or care about God, but it is of utmost importance to care for others, because people like me are out there who are suffering and don't know where to go. Many people in this world have a negative attitude towards life and others. Seeing someone like Swamiji teaches us that life doesn't have to be like that. Life can be positive, and how we look at others reflects back upon us. We do not live in a cave where we are to just pray and meditate for ourselves, or even just for the earth alone. Our lives happen with other people, and it is important in one's quest to enlightenment to think and care for others.
Yeah.